So I think we were talking about the end of Tier 2, how the E4D works, how the resolutions work, why the resolutions work, why it's important to get to that point so that the authentic self can emerge in Tier 3. We can then, what I think is one of the most profound parts of the whole model, the ability to feed those purpose-oriented questions into our physiology through the mind, through the language, and get then once we have gotten those questions, to feed them those answers, to feed it back in and get a salutogenic response around those affirmations. That is one of the most incredibly...
Did you say affirmations? You just said affirmations.
I did. So hold on. No, I use the term that it is an affirmation by your soul when you feed that energy in, that it affirms it through salutogenesis. That is a term in that situation that I've always used.
That's a good backtrack.
No, that is. I've used that term at every. I've used that term at every event we've ever did. That it affirms. It is affirmed. Is an affirmation by your soul of the hit of salutogenesis when that's fed in. Okay, not using it in the pop culture, using it in its real term, in its mainstream terminology, not in its pop culture New Age terminology. Is an affirmation by your soul that that information is in alignment with your soul, and it salutogenically responds, which gave me a salutogenic response, which is really cool. And that is one of the most profound parts of the whole thing. And that doesn't get clean until they've done the work, and all of that other shit isn't binding into the lower brain. And the system is clear. And it can spit out now, it can reach deep down and bring into being its purpose, unformed, fuzzy, frothy, and then put it back in to test for accuracy, which becomes affirmed by the physiological response, by the salutogenesis amplifying itself as a deep resonance or deep affirmation of the yes that's in the soul. And then that content of each of those 12 questions that are affirmed in a certain way, that content becomes context in a declaration, becomes contextualized as the song in the soul of the authentic self. And it is, the declaration is purpose-oriented. And its purpose, that becomes the fuel of evolution. Its purpose, that's the fuel that drives the authentic self from the postmodern landscape into the metamodern landscape of Epoch 6. And as the purpose that comes from the inside out gets fed back into the higher brain physiology, it starts to come more and more and more to the front. And then as the declaration is stated, that has been over and over and over again anchored into the physiology that can actually make the declaration be truth in the world, not just truth inside. It's the truth inside that's never brought outside that creates the life of quiet desperation. And as the truth inside is brought into the life process, the soul's journey goes on in time. It starts to emerge into that next stage of human evolution, which is what we are promoting.